Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this one goes out to all the Taylor Swift fans out there. This is the top 10 board games to play with Taylor Swift songs. 10 specific Taylor Swift songs. Some of her most popular music, none of it from the most recent album. Honestly, the most recent album was kind of a bust. It's got one halfway decent song and a whole lot that are not that great. I said that this video is going out to Taylor Swift fans, and I realize I'm about to get murdered by Taylor Swift fans. Nonetheless, ignoring her last album, Taylor Swift is an icon, an incredible person with incredible music, and these are 10 songs to pair with board games. I'm going to start off with number 10, Blank Space. Blank Space is an incredible Taylor Swift song. One of my personal favorites. It's a little lower down this list though over here, but we're going to be pairing that one with Captain Obvious from Lucky Duck Games. See, Captain Obvious is all about that perfect blank space. In Captain Obvious, you're going to be given a word, and you have to try to basically construct a very obvious sentence. The whole goal here is to construct an obvious sentence that can't be broken with the addition of a blank space instead of a word. So for example, if the word was Swift, and I have to do a six-word sentence, maybe I would do Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. That would work. Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. And the goal is somebody else now has to cross out any one of my words, hoping that any other players at the table will not be able to figure out what that word was. So for example, you could do blank Swift is dating Travis Kelce, but I think everyone would figure that out. You could do Taylor Swift is blank Travis Kelce, because maybe there's a chance somebody would write marrying, likes, I don't know, marrying. I think dating is the only one that works. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good sentence. This is all about trying to construct the perfect, obvious sentence despite the blank space that is included. Coming in number 9, we're going to have Love Story from Taylor Swift, the song that brought her to fame, her claim to fame as far as songs go. Love Story way back when she was a country artist, before she decided to take over the entire music industry before going for the world. And Love Story is going to be paired with the obvious one, and that's Love Letter. There's no cleverness around the name over here. This is just, at the end of the day, Love Story is a very classic romance tale, and Love Letter kind of capture that in a small box game. And that's important because we have so many big box games we're going to be covering today that I wanted to have some small box games to round things out. Love Story is basically a song about romance, about finding your person, a little bit, based on the historical aspect of Romeo and Juliet to a degree, but ultimately Love Letter has players trying to figure out how to craft that love letter, be the last person standing across several rounds, earning points each round. Thematically very different, but from a pure overlay, they definitely fall into the same general vein. Coming in at number 8, we have All Too Well. All Too Well is one of my personal favorites. I know I said Blank Space is, but Blank Space is one of my personal favorites, but All Too Well might be my favorite song from Taylor Swift on this personal list. But it is a bit harder to pair with any particular board game until you realize that this is no longer about the song. We're going to be pairing this one up with One Night Ultimate Werewolf Daybreak, because One Night Ultimate Werewolf Daybreak relies on having a 8-minute timer in the game to go ahead and time your rounds, and you could replace that with All Too Well. All Too Well is the perfect song to go ahead and hit start as you start going through the rounds of One Night Ultimate Werewolf Daybreak, because at the very end of the song, when you're hitting those final notes of the song, at that point you go down to a 3, 2, 1, and you accuse the other players of being the werewolves in the game, using All Too Well as the perfect timer for this 8-minute game. From there, going on to number 7, these are not going to stack very well. Going on to number 7, we have You Need to Calm Down. You Need to Calm Down, a song genuinely about having to calm down, about de-escalating things, and what better game to pair with a song about de-escalation than the game that, to me, has the best escalation in any board game. You see, Cthulhu Death May Die, Fear of the Unknown, this is the newest version, but honestly, any particular edition of Cthulhu Death May Die will work for this. It's all about the escalation of the characters. You, as the various investigators in the game, are slowly powering up, and then not so slowly powering up, all as the Elder God powers up in turn. And so you have this constant escalation, this perfect crescendo of the two sides before one person or one side ends up dying in a horrible fiery aftermath, and hopefully it's the Elder God dying. So if you wanted a song about calming down, this is the very game in which you need to calm down. This is like, you're getting too loud. It is too much. Cthulhu Death May Die is too much, but in the best possible ways. And right as you get to the very end of this adventure, well, you can go ahead and calm down a little bit and move on to our next one. Number 6 is going to be coming in with We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. And I figured the perfect game to pair with that. Well, honestly, more of a category of game than anything else, but the perfect category of game to pair with that, would be anything to do with zombies. If you wanted a very final, we are never, ever, ever getting back together, talking about the zombie people in your lives, whether it's a significant other, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, just a friend, whoever it is, but you are definitely never ever getting back together because you are about 2 turns away from putting a bullet into their heads, which is kind of final as far as things go. I mean, forget it. This is a game where you can be murdering pets too when you need to. If you want a degree of finality to the end of a relationship, a zombie game definitely carries that in spades. And Resident Evil from Steamforged Games is one of the better zombie-themed games out there. Coming in at number 5, we have Shake It Off. Shake It Off, an iconic song from Taylor Swift. I don't think she invented the phrase, but she certainly made it significantly more popular. Also, for those watching, I know she didn't invent the phrase. I realize I should be clear just for those. But she certainly made Shake It Off a phrase that became synonymous with her, which is a certain degree of power in that, of taking something already known and making it synonymous with you. But Taylor Swift has always been incredibly influential in the world at large, just through the sheer way, everything she does. She's incredibly influential. But Shake It Off, to me, pairs perfectly with Rolling Heights. Because you could have any game about dice. Any game about dice and shaking it, that could work. But ultimately, a game where you literally have to shake meeples the entire time, this is a game where you have meeples, little people that you're going to be shaking and rolling into a box every single turn to try to see if you can get them to land on their feet. And if you ever wanted a game about landing on your feet, Shake It Off works so well thematically for Rolling Heights. It's the perfect pairing of song and game, and now we just have to come up with a wine list to do. But we're too far into this video, so we're not going to have the drinks this time round, maybe another time. But coming in at number 4, we have Antihero. One of her newer songs, at least newer on this list, I'm pretty sure one of the new ones on this list, but Antihero is, well, a song all about her being the anti-hero, and I figured what better game to pair with that than Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape, a game where you are literally fighting against the various angels of this hellscape, so to speak, going through a kind of uncertainty as to who's good, who's evil. It is the very definition of the anti-hero as far as the characters in this game go, fighting off God to a certain degree, thematically speaking, seems a little bit over the top thematically as far as what's happening here, but that is what you're dealing. You're fighting off with all the denizens of both heaven and hell, making you an anti-hero if there ever was one. Coming in at number 3, we have You Belong With Me. Now, You Belong With Me was a little harder one to pair with any particular board game, but I went with the nostalgic vibes of this one. This is very much a throwback, and to me, the one that this brought to mind was Food Chain Magnate, which, even though despite being a very modern game as far as the game design aspect and one of the better, heavier, thinkier games out there, I think it does bring that kind of nostalgic vibes that You Belong With Me does bring to the table, or bring to the audio aspect. This is the one that's coming to the table. You Belong With Me, rather, is the song that you're going to be pairing with Food Chain Magnate for a perfect thematic evening. Then coming in at number 2, we have Cruel Summer. And Cruel Summer, only one game came immediately to mind because you have to be playing Robinson Crusoe Adventures on a Cursed Island when you're playing Cruel Summer. If you want a song about cruel summers, if you want a song about surviving in that perfect weather, all while you're actually not surviving, if everything around you is trying to destroy you in every way, shape, and form, Robinson Crusoe very much brings together a cruel summer like no other game that I can think of. And our number 1 pick is a game that I don't even have, unfortunately, because it's not out yet, but it was the perfect pairing. From all these pairings that I spent so much time, effort, and energy trying to come up with perfect recommendations for those Taylor Swift songs you know and love, number 1 was easily the best pick. And this is I Knew You Were Trouble. I Knew You Were Trouble When You Walked In from Taylor Swift. That song pairs perfectly with an upcoming game from Mood Publishing called Goat Simulator, the card game. Based on the video game, Goat Simulator is the perfect pairing for I Knew You Were Trouble, and if you have to ask why, you are not the Taylor Swift fan I thought you were at the beginning of this video, but definitely as soon as you have an opportunity to get Goat Simulator from Mood Publishing, coming up soon on crowdfunding, not sponsored by Mood Publishing, but this would have been a great opportunity to reach out to them and have them sponsor this video, but nonetheless, check out Goat Simulator, the card game, if you want that perfect pairing of a board game to go with I Knew You Were Trouble from Taylor Swift. I hope you enjoyed these recommendations. If you are looking for any other artists that you would like to have me perfectly pick out a bunch of board games that go along with some of their greatest hits, please let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful in some way. And as always, I hope you have a good one.